Hello everyone, welcome back to SportsKhabri, Arun Food, Indian Food and Football, and Curious Harry. We're here to discuss everything about the Merdeka Cup, the much changed Merdeka Cup now because of certain events. We'll discuss all of that. We'll discuss the squad, we'll discuss when India play, potentially, and everything else that comes with it. We'll take your comments and have a bit of chit chat about that as well. So first things first, of course, there is the Israel and Palestine war ongoing, which is why Palestine will not be able to take part in the Merdeka Cup. Anava, your first thoughts on this, first reactions to Palestine not being able to participate in this football tournament, and of course the situation there.
Um, First of all, the situation is very worrisome. And again, let's not get into politics and what's happening, not happening. I think the human angle is not good from the attacks that have happened in Israel, and the situation of the Palestinians in Gaza has not been good for years. So that's the reality, and I think let's leave it at that. Um, I had said last night when we were having a post-show chit-chat and fun things that I fear that Palestine will opt out, because it was yesterday reading that in Europe UEFA had cancelled all competitions with Israeli links, and therefore to me that seemed logical, because there are potentially certain players who play back in Palestine in Gaza, so those players will not be able to leave. And therefore, for me, it was very likely, let's put it this way, that Palestine would opt out. And then it would become a 3-team competition, and it would become like a tri-nation tournament we had earlier this year in Manipur. And which, again, on one side has certain advantages, because 3 teams, everyone plays against each other. Yeah. On the other side, of course, you have to finish the tournament by the 17th, because that's sort of the end of the FIFA window. And that is, I think, the challenge that the organizers now have, and and that seems to be sort of the decision that the Merdeka organizers have made. Even though, it's of course even more tighter schedule than it was before.
Yeah. Lord Beke, we hear you. India might play on the 11th. Originally scheduled to play on the 13th, but that doesn't look like it will happen. Reports suggesting that India will play 2 games. There will be 3 games totally in the Merdeka Cup, and we won't have a final as such, because of course there is not enough time. Hiren, your thoughts on this being India getting 2 matches for sure, and it'll be a league stage sort of thing?
Hello to everyone, and I am home by CK Pal bhai आप पूछ रहे थे. Definitely now it's turned into the you can say कि league format type, and basically it's a 2 friendly आप count कर सकते हो कि 2 friendly इंडिया खेलने जा रही है, rather than इसको कब बोलना या फिर उस उलझन में पड़ना. I think इंडिया को देखना चाहिए कि हमें 2 फ्रेंडलीज मिल रहे हैं, एंड हम किस तरह से इसका मैक्सिमम यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ अपकमिंग वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स, क्योंकि इसके बाद सीधा ही आपको नेक्स्ट मंथ वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स खेलना है. यहाँ पे जो आपको स्क्वाड चेंजेस में या फिर 1-2 प्लेयर आपको लगता है कि यू वांट टू ट्राई आउट, वो यहाँ पे कर लो. बाकी आप एक अपनी जो फाइनल स्क्वाड है उसकी तरफ अब आगे बढ़ना चाहिए, रादर देन क्या बोलते हैं कि देयर इज अ टू मच चेंजेस. अब ज्यादा चेंजेस करने का कोई यहाँ के सेंस भी नहीं बनता. एक अब आप अपनी जो सेटल 11 है उसके साथ उतरिए, उसको 1-2 मैच साथ खिलाइए, एंड उसके बाद अगर वो वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स में खेलते हैं देन उनका भी थोड़ा सा एक वो जो कॉन्फिडेंस है वो ज्यादा रहेगा. सो उस वाली चीजें. एंड ऑलरेडी हमको पता है कि पहले लेबनान था, लेबनान एंड पैलेस्टाइन एक वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स के सेम ग्रुप में आए, तो लेबनान ने बैक ऑफ कर लिया और उसकी जगह पे तजाकिस्तान आ गया. अभी पैलेस्टाइन बैक ऑफ कर गया, आपके पास टाइम नहीं है किसी और कंट्री को रिप्लेस करने का, क्योंकि अभी देखिए सारे जो एशिया के लोअर रैंक कंट्री है वो यहाँ पे इस फीफा विंडो में वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स का राउंड 1 खेल रहा है. सो वो भी अवेलेबल नहीं है, नहीं तो अदरवाइज आपको एक आध कंट्री मिल जाता, एंड वो में भी मिल ही जाता. लेकिन अब क्योंकि सारे कंट्रीज वो खेल रहे हैं तो आपके पास वो ऑप्शन अवेलेबल नहीं है. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई थिंक इन लोगों ने टीमों के साथ ही कंटिन्यू जाने का सही समझा है. जो मैंने सुबह मेरे वीडियो में भी बताया था कि दिस इज द ओनली पॉसिबल वे कि आप टूर्नामेंट को मूव हेड कर सकते हो, एंड उसमें भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. मतलब जो पहले फॉर्मेट था वो भी सही है, इस फॉर्मेट में भी आई डोंट थिंक सो कि कोई हमें इश्यू आना चाहिए. वैसे भी हमें 2 मैच खेलने थे, हम वही खेल रहे हैं. एक मलेशिया के सामने एक ये जरूर बात है कि पैलेस्टाइन के सामने अगर हम खेल पाते तो थोड़ा सा और ज्यादा हम अपने आप को टेस्ट कर पाते, एक जरूर वहां पे बात है. लेकिन तजाकिस्तान का भी अगर आप रिसेंट फॉर्म देखिए तो उतना कोई बुरा नहीं है, एंड वो भी हमारे नजदीक में ही है. एंड मलेशिया को उनके होम पे हराना वो भी हमारे लिए चैलेंज है. तो आई थिंक मेरे को लगता है कि एक अच्छा हमारा टेस्टिंग time है यहाँ पे before going into the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, fair enough. And Shine said it well. Sorry, Hiren said it well, Shine, because he said they're basically two friendlies. We treat it like that because next up is the World Cup qualifiers. How important are these two matches looking ahead to that particular stage?
I think it will be very, very important. I think these two games will be very, very important for India's preparation for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And Igor needs to try out, get in the correct combination before we go to the World Cup qualifiers in November. These two games will help us building the team actually and getting the players best possible 11, best playing 11. I think he will sort out that first, and he would look out for other options also. Right now with Igor, how he has made the team and all for last 4 years, and this is a time that he's in the last verge before we go to the Asian Cup and World Cup qualifiers. This is the last tournament we are having for preparation for that. So it will be very, very interesting to see how India plays, and we will be playing against Malaysia and Tajikistan. Tajik is a very good team. I think of late we don't have a very good results against Tajik team when we played last time in Hero Intercontinental Cup in Ahmedabad in Stan Stadium, and the club games also. I think FC Istiklal did better of Bengaluru FC many times. So I think Tajik team उनका ranking थोड़ा कम है. But I think it's a good team and good hoga. And Malaysia, and on the other hand, on the home is a very tough team to beat. So that would be again. I think we will be playing in Bulkit Jalal only. So that stadium is basically Malaysia has a very good record over there. So that would be also very interesting to see how we play over there. So it's a good exposure, as Hiren said, and Unamada also said that it will be good exposure for Indian national team before we go to the World Cup qualifiers. I'm very interested to see how India plays in those two games. I think these away matches really will help us getting good. If we are able to get some good results, that will really boost our players' confidence before the much important World Cup qualifiers and Asian Cup.
Yeah, fair enough.
राहुल मैं राहुल
yeah,
एक मैं यहाँ पे काफी सारे लोग यहाँ पे स्क्वाड एंड फिक्सर्स का
squad,
पूछ रहे हैं. तो स्क्वाड में गाइस ये बता दीजिए कि 23 मेंबर का स्क्वाड हमारा फाइनल हो चुका है. जो 3 प्लेयर ड्रॉप किया गया है उसमें से जो ओरिजिनली जो 26 मेंबर का अनाउंसमेंट हुआ था उसमें से गोलकीपर में धीरज सिंह को ड्रॉप किया गया है. मिडफील्ड में चिक्सन सिंह मोस्ट प्रोबेबली काफी अनलाइकली लग रहा है कि वो टीम के साथ ज्वाइन करेंगे. अभी भी क्लियरिटी उनके ऊपर नहीं है, लेकिन तो चांसेस है क्योंकि कल ही उसको नॉक लगा है यहाँ पे मुंबई के सामने, तो शायद वो टीम के साथ नहीं ज्वाइन करेंगे. एंड उसके अलावा विक्रम प्रताप सिंह. तो इन 3 प्लेयरों को यहाँ पे जो 26 मेंबर की स्कोर थी उसमें से ड्रॉप किया गया है. बाकी 23 मेंबर यहाँ पे मलेशिया के लिए फ्लाइट आउट किए हैं. संदेश जिंगान एंड सुनील छेत्री यहाँ पे जो टीम फोटो आज रिलीज हुई है उसमें नहीं थे, लेकिन वो कल टीम के साथ ज्वाइन हो जाएंगे. तो ये सीन है. एंड फिक्सर्स की बात करें तो जो अभी ऑफिशियल फिक्सर्स यहाँ पे अनाउंसमेंट नहीं हुए हैं, लेकिन जो मलेशिया की मीडिया है वहाँ पे कुछ रिपोर्टर ने यहाँ पे रिपोर्ट किया है कि शायद 11 अक्टूबर से यहाँ पे पहला मैच इंडिया वर्सेस तजाकिस्तान, 14 अक्टूबर को इंडिया वर्सेस मलेशिया एंड 17 अक्टूबर को मलेशिया वर्सेस तजाकिस्तान. तो इस तरह से शेड्यूल रहेगा. तो दिस इज द अपडेट अबाउट फिक्सर्स एंड इंडिया स्कोर.
Thanks for that, Hiren. Well, now because we are talking about the squad, important thing is to see who comes out on the pitch, because probably it will give us a good, sort of glimpse into what Igor Stimac is thinking when we end up playing those World Cup qualifiers. Arnava, if you were Igor, which of the three keepers would you go? Which of the three keepers would you pick? Would it be Gurpreet, Vishal, or Amrinder? Is it an easy choice? Is it tough? Is it close between two guys? What is it?
Igor has been playing around with Amrinder and with Gurpreet. Gurpreet is the better shot stopper. Amrinder is the better goalkeeper to kick off your open play. So that is something that he's played around with. Vishal Keth hasn't had a look in the recent past, if I'm not completely wrong. We've had other keepers. Gurmeet was around recently. When the others were injured, Purbala Chempa was someone that he was looking at. So those would be sort of the 4-5 keepers that will make up the likely candidates for the World Cup qualifiers and then also for the AFC Asian Cup. And I think the goalkeeper department is something which we don't have much of a problem because the keepers are good. And our keepers have done good at continental competition. Subrata Pal in 2011, Gurpreet in 2019. So on that front, it looks like that he will most probably, he has two favorites, let's put it this way. And it's a decision on, and he's changed goalkeepers during tournaments as well. So therefore, it's amongst Gurpreet or Amrinder, I would say.
Yeah. Shayan, Hiren, Gurpreet or Amrinder, who would you go for?
I think I will go with गुरप्रीत because I think अब नो डाउट उन्होंने इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल साथ में हमें देखा था कि एक मैच अमरिंदर पाजी खेल रहे थे, एक मैच गुरप्रीत पाजी को खिला रहे थे, इस तरह से अल्टरनेटिव चल रहा था। लेकिन आई थिंक फ्रॉम नाउ ऑन, जैसे मैंने बोला कि आपके पास काफी कम टाइम बचा है एंड काफी कम मैचेस बचे हैं कि आप अपनी जो फाइनल स्कोर है वो आप डिसाइड करके चले, क्योंकि आई डोंट थिंक सो कि एशियन कप में या फिर आप वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स में चाहेंगे कि एक मैच में आप गुरप्रीत पाजी को खिलाओ, एक मैच में अमरिंदर को खिलाओ।
Exactly.
आई थिंक यू हैव टू मेक अ चॉइस। मतलब इट्स नो डाउट इट्स अ टफ चॉइस, बट यू हैव टू इवेंचुअली दैट्स द जॉब एंड वो आपको बनाना पड़ेगा। एंड आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से अब आपका जो एक फाइनल कीपर का जो चॉइस है वो बनना चाहिए। एंड मेरे हिसाब से आई विल गो विथ गुरप्रीत पाजी, एंड मैं उनके साथ जाना
Interesting.
चाहूंगा एंड उनको अब कंटिन्यूस कराना चाहूंगा अपकमिंग जितने भी मैचेस आ रहे हैं जब तक एशियन कप।
Interesting. Shayan, Gurpreet or Amrinder?
I think I think I would go with Gurpreet because I think he's the most seasoned campaigner. I think in the international football, if you see, he has been playing for the Indian national team for a long time now, and he has got that composure to play at the top level. If you see, he'll be playing in the Asian Cup like in 2019. Also, he was part of the team. So I think he more experienced with better international exposure with him in behind with him. I think Gurpreet Singh Sandhu gets my vote for that.
Fair enough, Shayan.
अब
Before we move on to
वन सेकंड
Rahul,
yeah,
गाइस,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
मैं
Let
एक बात बताना चाहूंगा।
Hiren बताओ.
So, एक बात बताना चाहूंगा कि पहले गाइस सब लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं चारों चैनल को। एंड दूसरी चीज एक बता दूं गाइस कि आप जो भी मिडफील्ड की बात कर रहे हैं चैट में, हम उसके बारे में भी आगे कंटिन्यूस में डिस्कस करेंगे। अभी जो हम टॉपिक डिस्कस करें आप उसके बारे में चैट में अपना ओपिनियन दीजिए। मिडफील्ड में भी जो रोहित, अपुया, उन सब के बारे में भी आगे बात करेंगे।
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Hiren, if you can repeat 3 players from the 26th who are not part of the final 23. एक बार और बता
धीरज
सकते हैं.
धीरज सिंह, जिक्सन सिंह एंड विक्रम प्रताप सिंह, तीनों सिंह।
So then I'll just mention the 23. So I think that everyone has
Yeah,
the names
yeah.
because there's a lot of questions being asked. So amongst the goalkeepers we have Gurpreet, Amrinder and Vishal Keth. Defenders we have Nikhil Pujari, Roshan, Sandesh Jingan, Anwar Ali, Mehtab Singh, Lalchul Nunga, Akash Mishra, Shubhashish Bose. Midfielders Suresh Wangjam, Anirudh Thapa, Rohit Kumar, Sahal Abdul Samad, Brandon Fernandez, Lalin Zwala Changte, Udanta Singh, Mahesh Singh Naurem, Liston Kolaso, Nanda Kumar Sekar, and forward Sunil Chetri and Manvir Singh. So that's the final 23 according to what the situation is. So Jikson seems to be out due to an injury that he picked up last night in Mumbai. And again, Vikram and Dheeraj are the two who have been dropped. And again, we can go a little bit more, I think, into that discussion. Rahul, let's ask you as well. Goalkeepers. Of course, you're a BFC fan, so Gurpreet Singh Sandhu is GSS 1, so to say, for you guys. But would you pick Gurpreet over Amrinder?
I actually wouldn't.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
think again, like I think it's probably because I have seen Gurpreet so much, because I think I pick up on the small things that he doesn't do, and probably haven't seen that in Amrinder, which is why I'd probably go for him. I think Gurpreet doesn't come out and claim enough.
Mm.
He doesn't help out the centre backs when they're a little high up. He takes that 1-2 seconds longer to come out to claim balls that are played over the top. Sometimes you see a centre back struggling. I've seen this happen a lot of times at BFC when it looks like the centre back's at fault because he hasn't dealt with the ball over the top, but actually it's the keeper who hasn't come and helped out. So I've seen that a few times. Gurpreet, again, his kicking, I think he goes way too long. Sometimes it's almost like a waste. He goes, he's awesome. He's got a great right foot. He can go the entire field, but sometimes it's a waste because so many times you just want to play it into the striker, but then he goes all the way to the other keeper. And Amrinder looks like an interesting choice. Whatever I've seen of him off late for the international team, he looks like that ball playing goalkeeper. And if Stimac wants that, to be honest, I think he's more comfortable with his feet than Gurpreet. So
Mhm.
I don't think, I don't know what, it should be okay to play Amrinder over Gurpreet, I guess. Um, Guys, before we move on to the defenders, I think there are a couple of other people who are asking what is the format. Uh, we've
Yeah,
already discussed this, guys. It's probably it will. I mean, it will be a league format. It'll be three teams playing each other, and that's about it.
exactly.
Um,
So the
yeah.
situation as it stands at the moment is that Palestine, due to the ongoing war against Israel, will not be able to participate and therefore drop out of the competition. We are literally days ahead of the tournament. Therefore, the organizers had only one option, and that is to say, um, let the three teams play against each other. And according to the current plans that they have, Tajikistan will face India on the 11th. On the 14th, India take on host Malaysia, and Malaysia then in the final fixture play Tajikistan, and whoever has the best results amongst these three wins the Merdeka Cup 2023. So this is at the moment what has not officially been confirmed, but looks very, very likely to be the final and only outcome which is possible due to also the lack of time, because again everything has to be kept within the FIFA window.
Guys, interesting left back. I mean, I don't know if it is interesting, but we've got a few left back options here. We've got Sivashish Bose, we've got Akash Mishra, we've got Roshan Singh, who has impressed for me at least. Like, who's your first choice left back? Is it straightforward? Is it Akash Mishra for sure? Hiren?
I think Roshan will be used as right back. I don't think so. He selected him as a left back option because there is already Subhasis Bose and Akash Mishra. दोनों में से कौन खेलेगा उसका चॉइस रहेगा कि किस प्लेइंग स्टाइल या फिर किस टैक्टिक्स के साथ आप जा रहे हो. इफ यू आर गोइंग विद ऑफेंसिव tactics, then I think Akash Mishra will be much more, you can say, कि impactful. एंड अगर आप थोड़ा सा डिफेंसिव आपके फुल बैक्स को आप उतना ज्यादा क्या बोलते कि यूज नहीं करना चाहते एंड आप उसको थोड़ा सा डिफेंसिवली सॉलिडारिटी बढ़ाना चाहते हो, देन आई थिंक सुभाशिष बोस इज बेस्ट ऑप्शन. बिकॉज सुभाशिष बोस काफी सारे लोग उनसे मतलब उनको लगता है कि वो पुराने स्टाइल के प्लेयर है, सारी चीजें है, लेकिन उतने अगर करंटली अगर कुछ प्लेयर देखे जैसे प्रीतम कोटाल हो गया, राहुल पेके हो गया, या फिर इनमें से उन सब ने डीप किया है, लेकिन सुभाशिष बोस का फॉर्म डीप नहीं हुआ है, ये हमें मानना पड़ेगा. क्योंकि आप देखिए मोहन बगान की साइड में भी वो रेगुलर हिस्सा है, ऐसा नहीं है कि मोहन बगान की साइड में भी उनको नहीं खिलाया जा रहा है. और लगातार इस सीजन आप देखिए जितने भी मैच उन्होंने खेला है जबरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस दी है. ऐसा नहीं है कि परफॉर्मेंस में कोई यहाँ पे उन्होंने ज्यादा गलतियां की है या फिर क्या बोलते अच्छा फॉर्म नहीं रहा है. तो वो भी एक अच्छे कंटेंडर है मेरे हिसाब से. एक लीडरशिप क्वालिटी भी है बंदे में, एक्सपीरियंस है. सो अगर थोड़ा सा डिफेंसिव टेक्टिक्स होगी देन डेफिनेटली सुभाशिष बोस स्टार्ट करेगा. अदरवाइज आई थिंक आकाश मिश्रा विल बी द फर्स्ट चॉइस मेरे हिसाब से.
Very interesting. Vineet, he's saying right back. Ashishra is not in this squad, Vineet. Again, just to clarify. But very interesting because a lot of people are saying, okay, you can play. Anurag is saying left back Akash and right back Roshan. It's interesting because Nikhil Pujari is somebody who has taken up that right back spot off late. Shayan, um, will it be surprising to see him not take the starting spot?
If you ask me, I will be surprised if he doesn't take the starting spot because I think that Nikhil Pujari is most likely to start as a right back for this game, and Akash Mishra, I think, as you were saying, Akash Mishra is most likely to get that nod ahead in this two games because I think Igor will be trying to win these two games because these two teams are definitely beatable team, and I think he would go with offensive mindset.
Yeah, but then Aruna, then what about Roshan? Because if it is going to be offensive, and Shaggy's pointed out here, he's 2-footed, he's great on set pieces. Is there a and again being a fellow BFC fan, I understand what he's saying. So shouldn't there be a spot for him in the squad? I mean, in the lineup.
I think the question is with Igor, how can he utilize the boy, and the other point is not only with Igor but with most national team coaches, you trust certain players, and if they've delivered for you, you will stick with them. Stephen Constantine, Bob Houghton used to do the same thing in the past. So therefore, Nikhil Pujari, I felt didn't have the best of SAF Cups, to be very honest, whenever he's played. But again, he's had his games, so therefore that will be interesting to see if he sticks with. I would rather go with Roshan, very honestly, and I agree with Shaggy because if you have him on the field, you've got problems. You can push him around because he's able to play on both wings in defensive and in attacking positions. That is one. The other thing is you can use him free kicks, corners, those kind of things. So you have a utility player, and therefore he's much more a starter to me than Nikhil Pujari would be. But again, it will be very interesting to see if he goes with it or if he sticks to Nikhil Pujari. Because also, not to forget, the national team per se will only get tomorrow to then prepare and train, right? So that's another thing, that the preparations are going to be minimal. I don't know if Sandesh and Sunil will be there on time actually to train with the team.
लेकिन सर एक चीज, हाँ, लेकिन एक चीज ये है ना कि ये जो अभी जो स्कोर सिलेक्ट हुई है, ये आई थिंक इगोस टीम सब पिछले 2 साल से मोस्ट ऑफ द प्लेयर को यूज करते आ रहे हैं. सो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि इतना कोई इश्यू आना चाहिए. मतलब वो ट्रेनिंग सेशन तो एज क्या बोलते हैं कि आपकी एक बॉडी को वार्म अप होने के लिए, आपको एक वहाँ पे सेटल डाउन होने के लिए यूज होना चाहिए, रादर देन, क्योंकि आप देखिए ये सारे प्लेयर्स, अगर आप बैकलाइन आप देखिए तो आई थिंक अनवर अली, संदेश जिंगान, मेहताब सिंह लगातार पिछले कुछ कॉम्पिटिशन आपके साथ है. लेलन चुंगा नो डाउट वहाँ पे एक नया इंक्लूजन है. रोशन सिंह हमको पता है कि बिफोर द इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल कप जो इंजरी हुआ था उससे पहले वो रेगुलर हिस्सा थे. आकाश मिश्रा भी अब रेगुलर बन चुके हैं. निखिल पुजारी ने भी 2-3 कॉम्पिटिशन खेल की है. सुभाषिस बोस ऑलरेडी इज बीन देयर. मिडफील्ड में भी आप सेम चीज है, सुरेश पांगा पहले से हिस्सा थे आपके. रोहित कुमार भी अब सेटल डाउन हो चुके हैं. उसके अलावा अब फ्रंट लाइन में देख लीजिए, मनवीर सिंह भी पहले हिस्सा थे, वो भी इंजरी के चलते बाहर हुए. तो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि इतना कोई इश्यू वो आना चाहिए कि प्रिपरेशन टाइम नहीं मिला है. आई थिंक जो आपको यहाँ पे तो यही है कि आपने पहले भी 1.5 महीने का कैंप लगाया था, तो वो जो सारी चीजें है, एक टीम को साथ खेलने का अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, वो तो है वहाँ पे. सिर्फ आपको एक क्या बोलते हैं कि अपने बॉडी को एंड अपने आप को वहाँ पे मलेशिया में जाके नवे कंडीशन में सेटल डाउन करना है, एंड थोड़ी सी जो ड्रिल्स है वही करनी है. और ऑलरेडी प्लेयर्स आईएसएल खेल के आ रहे हैं, टाइट शेड्यूल खेल के आ रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे भी कोई फिटनेस का भी ऐसा इश्यू नहीं है कि वे प्लेयर फिट नहीं है, वो नहीं है. तो आई थिंक, और आज का दिन रेस्ट पे मिल गया है, आई थिंक आज का टाइम पे पहुंच गए हैं, तो आई थिंक कल एक ट्रेनिंग सेशन रात को करते हैं, तो आई थिंक उतना कोई इश्यू वो नहीं मैं देख रहा हूँ कि प्रिपरेशन वाइज आना चाहिए.
Fair enough.
ट्रेनिंग सेशन कल हो रहा है, ट्रेनिंग सेशन कल है. They have reached at Indian time. There is no training session today.
हाँ, तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना कि रेस्ट भी मिल गया, आज वो पहुंच गए, रेस्ट मिल गया. अब कल एक ट्रेनिंग सेशन है, परसों मैच है, तो इतना कोई डिफिकल्टी नहीं आना चाहिए कि भाई आप एकदम से एक्सपोज हो रहे हो या फिर वो वाली चीज.
And not to forget, Tajikistan is in the same situation. तुम्हारा ओपोनेंट एक ही तरफ से, they're coming in, एक दिन का training, second day match. So it's a level playing ground. Both are away teams. Hot and humid weather in Kuala Lumpur, big stadium. I don't know how many people will turn up, but it's not going to be full. It will be different when you play Malaysia. So both teams come into this game. It's in a similar situation, but again, it's going to be interesting because again, if we talk about centre backs, I guess we would agree Sandesh and Anwar are
pretty straightforward.
the set starters, right, guys?
Yeah. I agree. Any doubt?
संदेश जिंगान के साथ मेरे को थोड़ा सा डाउट नहीं है, इन द सेंस कि मतलब नेशनल टीम के लिए उसने, मतलब एशियन गेम्स में भी हमने देखा ही इज द ओनली प्लेयर जिसने सारे एशियन गेम्स के मैचेस खेले हैं. एंड नेशनल गेम्स में, सॉरी एशियन गेम्स में उसने बढ़िया किया. नेशनल टीम के लिए कोई इशू नहीं. लेकिन आईएसएल में हमने गोवा के लिए जो मैचेस 2 खेले उसमें, वहां पे वो मेरे को थोड़े से मतलब वो लगे शेकी. बट आई थिंक संदेश जिंगान जो ट्रस्टेड है, आई थिंक उसी के साथ हो जाएंगे. एंड ऑब्वियसली अनवर अली इज आल्सो इन देयर. सो मेहताब एंड लेलन चुगला आई थिंक विल बी यूज्ड एज अ रिजर्व. So I agree.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward, I think. Guys, everybody who's watching the stream, again, please like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Arun Food, SportsKhabri, Curious Harry, Indian Food and Football. And please like and share again. Now, I think midfield becomes a little interesting because there's no Jeekson Singh, like Hiren mentioned at the beginning of the stream itself. So, your midfield 3 guys, who fits into, if we are playing a midfield 3 again, who will the midfield 3 be? Any certain starters?
See, the question is how you're going to set up, because I'm combining my midfield with my attacking units. If I take those 6 players which I have, there's one person who's going to play, and that's Sunil Chhetri up front.
That's right.
And then I have to fill the other 5 positions. If I see the last few matches, Mahesh Naurem and Changte start on the wings.
Yeah.
I'm left with 3 other positions. I have to fill a number 10, there is the question: Sahal or Brandon? Right, that would be my question. Then I go back to my number 6. I felt Anirudh Thapa is settled in well into Mohun Bagan. So Thapa would be, that box to box player. Suresh didn't play well so far before he got his red card. So therefore the question is, does Suresh get that post? I didn't like Rohit Kumar against East Bengal the other day, to be very honest. Lucky to finish the 90 minutes. People mention Apuia, but there is no Apuia. So that's the, especially after yesterday's performance, but that's a different topic. So it's a toss-up between two BFC guys. I think Suresh and Udanta. Or are you willing to go really attacking and say, I play Thapa and Brandon? Brandon and Thapa as my 6. I go attacking and I put Sahal in front. That would be a very... And I still, and I've got options because Liston has been doing well. Nandakumar has been doing well. Manvir has been doing well. I have options in those positions. So therefore, this is, I think, the most interesting sort of combination. That's why I said, let's combine midfield and attack together, because then you can see, how could you build this team? And the question is, I would love to see Brandon, Anirudh and Sahal, as a triangle in the middle. That would be a very interesting triangle.
Yeah, that's I don't know, very bold, I think, because do you see Igor going with 2 attacking midfielders, Hiren and Chen? You guys, what is your take on this?
He should go. He should go, actually. The team we are playing, I think he should go. Yeah, if you are not going for these games, then which games we will go? No, and I think he will go also. And I think he will go also.
And one thing, the most important thing to say is, we're playing now Tajikistan and Malaysia. This is the time to try out, because we have to go a little bit more defensive against Kuwait and away, and Qatar at home.
Yes. And I think this is the best chance for our national team and the national coach to try out things. What I was saying previously also. अगर अभी नहीं करेंगे तो कब करेंगे, right? Or I think he would go with 2 attacking midfielders. ऐसा तो I think I can assure you that he will go for a win against both the teams.
Okay. Interesting. I think both.
मेरे को नहीं लगता कि वो 2 अटैकिंग के साथ जाएंगे. I think अगर मेरे को लगता है कि अगर आपको 2 अटैकिंग के साथ जाना है, then आपको बैक 3 का जाना पड़ेगा. You can't go with कि 2 सेंटर बैक आपके, और आपके जो दोनों फुल बैक्स है, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली आकाश एंड रोशन, वो भी ऑफेंसिव फुल बैक है, तो आपको डिफेंसिव उतना सॉलिडारिटी मिलेगा नहीं. एंड आप एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते कि थापा से वो जो एक आप डिफेंसिव रोल है, वो देखिए करने के लिए कर देगा, लेकिन वो जो इफेक्टिवनेस है, आपको जो आउटपुट चाहिए, वो नहीं दे पाएगा. सो आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई मेरे को लगता है कि ब्रेंडन एंड साहल में से आई थिंक एक चॉइस बनेगा. थापा विल बी श्योर 100%. अनिरुद्ध थापा विल बी इन द मिडफील्ड. वहां पे कोई डिस्कशन है नहीं. और दूसरा डिस्कशन बनेगा रोहित या फिर सुरेश पांड्या, दोनों में से एक. सो दिस विल बी द इंडिया.
और गिरेन, तुम जो बोल रहे हो ना, इंटरेस्टिंग थॉट. Mehtab Singh comes in as a 3rd centre back and you play a 3-4-3.
Yeah,
3-4-3. हाँ, मैं बोल रहा हूँ. फिर आप ब्रेंडन, थापा एंड सहल के साथ जा सकते हो. जैसे जॉन फेर्नांडो जाता है, यूगो बोमो, सहल एंड थापा, तीनों के साथ हो जाता है, क्योंकि उनके पास बैक 3 में उनको एश्योरेंस है कि
exactly. SKN, I would use him as Sahal as a false number 9 behind Sunil, and again Mahesh and Changte on the wings. And again, I've got options. I have options. So that's the question. How attacking will he go? Because on the other side, he's preparing for next month. And next month, India is playing stronger opposition. So that's the interesting thing, is how can you settle that midfield? Because if your defensive screen is good in midfield, you don't expose your defenders, right? And that's the thing. Anwar has played very, very good. Sandesh has played very, very good. But they have made their mistakes in recent matches, right? Conceded penalties, conceded easy goals, conceded own goals. So that's the question of, and as Hiren rightly said, Akash and Roshan are attacking wing backs. They're not a left back and a right back in an old sense. They're more of an attacking intent. That's the question. I mean, that's the question to play around, because you also don't have too many defensive-minded midfielders in the squad. It's actually Suresh and Rohit. Except if you do a crazy one, but again, these are not matches where you do a crazy one. I would have liked actually to put Roshan in the middle as a 6.
That would be interesting. Thapa and Roshan in the double pivot created. I think that would be interesting.
But for
sir,
that you
मेरे
need
को लगता है
training.
कि
ऐसे नहीं होगा because you need training
ऐसे
for
नहीं
that. And
होगा.
you can't just. That's
Exactly.
why I'm just throwing out an idea, because Roshan very often to me reminds me of those players who played, especially Germany. You know, it reminds me of a Kimmich or a Philipp Lahm, guys who've played at right back but also can play in defensive midfield. And he's got that intelligence as well,
Kimmich is
because he's
perfect
got that, and he can play the ball. You know, if you have that kind of a holding player, but the problem with him would be he's also an attacking-minded player, right? So that's the other thing that you sort of think about. Therefore, the first thing is Rohit needs to play. And Roshan, not Rohit. Roshan needs to play. So if you can use Roshan very smartly over there, that might be an interesting one. And then again, I think he will go for one defensive-minded midfielder, and then maybe one who sort of has to do the legs, and that's going to be Anirudh Thapa, and one who's going to be the creative one.
यहाँ पे मल्लिकार्जुन भाई बोल रहे हैं कि डायमंड इन मिडफील्ड. मेरे को नहीं लगता कि डायमंड इन मिडफील्ड में जाएंगे, क्योंकि आप देखिए जो इंडिया का जो प्लेइंग स्टाइल है वो विंग से ही है कि आपको विंग से ही अटैक करना है. आप मिड से उतना ज्यादा क्रिएट करने की कोशिश नहीं करते हो, तो आपको दो विंगर्स तो चाहिए ही चाहिए होंगे. उसके बिना तो आप ज्यादा चांसेस ही नहीं क्रिएट कर पाओगे. तो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि डायमंड तो बिल्कुल जाएंगे. डायमंड का तो ऑप्शन ही मेरे को नहीं दिख रहा.
I think one person nailed on is Thapa, who will start in that defensive midfield role. And guys, if it is, I mean, let's take the most, I think, plausible approach and pick for one attacking midfielder. Will it be Brandon or Sahal, according to you guys?
I will go with
for me, it's Sahal. For me, it's Sahal as well. And
as per current form, no question about it that Sahal is in
No
a better
question.
form. But the question is, again, always with coaches is, do you go for, and Sahal has played well, but he's also, Brandon is an experienced customer. So that's the question of what does the coach think? Who does he trust more? You know, and that's always a question with coaches.
Yeah.
यहाँ पे काफी सारे लोग एक सेकंड पूछ रहे हैं, काफी सारे लोग पूछ रहे हैं रिगार्डिंग जिक्सन भाई. जिक्सन सिंह को कल जो मुंबई सिटी के साथ मैच था वहां पे इंजरी हो चुका है. सो 99% डाउटफुल है तो वो टीम के साथ ट्रैवल करेंगे एंड ही माइट मिस दिस मेरडेका कप. तो दिस इज द अपडेट अबाउट जिक्सन सिंह. एंड काफी सारे लोग रोहित कुमार के जो सिलेक्शन है उसको क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं. नो डाउट 100% एग्री, करंट फॉर्म उसका वो नहीं है. लेकिन यहाँ पे दो चीजें आ जाती है, जैसे सर ने भी अभी किया कि आप एक सेटल प्लेयर जो आपका चलते आ रहा है पिछले 3-4 टूर्नामेंट से, आप उनको नहीं चाहेंगे कि करंट फॉर्म थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे है तो आप उसको सीधा ड्रॉप कर दो. आई थिंक वो हमने जनरली इंटरनेशनल जो नेशनल टीम के कोचेस होते हैं उनके साथ ये देखा हुआ है कि जो, क्योंकि उनको देखिए पूरा साल तो ऐसा टाइम नहीं मिलने वाला कि आप टीम के साथ क्या बोलते कि वो काम कर सको. तो उनको जो टाइम मिला है, उन्होंने जो एक टीम सेटल की है पिछले कुछ टाइम में 6-8 महीने में, तो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि वो उसमें इतना ज्यादा चेंजेस कर देंगे. इसीलिए पार्थी गोगोई का भी मेरे को लगता है कि सिलेक्शन क्यों नहीं हुआ है, क्योंकि उनके पास नोरेम महेश, चांगते एक ऐसे विंगर सेट डाउन हो चुके हैं कि वो नहीं चाहते कि वहां पे ज्यादा, जब तक एशियन कप है तब तक आई थिंक एटलीस्ट यहाँ पे ट्राई एंड टेस्टेड आउट किया जाए. अगर कोई एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी परफॉर्मेंस दे दे और ऐसा ही बन जाए कि भाई ये एक क्या बोलते एक्सपेक्टेड प्लेयर बन जाएगा, then only I think अब मेरे को लगता है कि ईगो स्टेमिंग चेंज करेंगे. अदरवाइज दिस इज मोर लाइकली कि जो एशियन कप की स्क्वाड है उसी के काफी सिमिलर है. 2-3 प्लेयर इधर उधर हो सकते हैं. अदर देन दैट आई एम सेइंग दैट दिस इज अ कंप्लीट स्क्वाड की जो आई थिंक वो कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए, जो कि सही है मेरे हिसाब से. आप नो डाउट करंट फॉर्म का एक आपको बायसनेस आता है, वो हर किसी में आता है एंड वो होता है, लेकिन आई थिंक थोड़ा सा आपको उसके साथ भी आई थिंक बैलेंस करना पड़ता है कि कौन से प्लेयर आप लगातार खिला के आ रहे हैं. आई थिंक वो भी देखना चाहिए. तो वो वाली चीज भी है, क्योंकि अभी एंड मोमेंट पे आप ज्यादा चेंज करोगे तो फिर जो आप क्या बोले रिजल्ट प्रोड्यूस करना चाहते हो वहां पे भी मतलब कहीं ना कहीं आपको दिक्कत आएगी.
Yeah, very interesting actually, because even now I think Sahal again is unanimous decision for us. Anirudh Thapa is then there. Rohit, like Hiren has mentioned, of course, is not having the best club form right now, but he's in the squad. If you had to pick between Rohit and Suresh, guys, who would you go with? Let's settle that midfield.
Suresh.
Yeah, I agree.
Same by.
Suresh, I think tried and tested है, सही है. I think he fits in better. Suresh.
Yeah. लेकिन सेम भाई अपुया would be the best.
Apuia were the best, but तो I think he doesn't fits into the Igor's का जो scheme of things, and I think the coach has every right to have his own selection. I think
नहीं
वो तो
वो फिट नहीं होते ऐसी बात नहीं है, वो जो डिफरेंसेस हुए उसके लिए वो सिलेक्ट नहीं हो रहे. लेट्स बी क्लियर, फिट नहीं हो रहे वो गलत बात है. वो
नहीं,
उनके
अगर
साथ
फिट
जो
होते तो
डिफरेंसेस है,
ले
दैट्स
लेते
व्हाई ही
और
इज नॉट सिलेक्ट.
अगर फिट
नहीं
होते तो
वो
उनको लेते
देखिए,
ना.
अरे नहीं भाई, तो अब सबको पता है अब कि वो डिफरेंसेस है, दैट्स व्हाई नॉट सिलेक्टेड. उसमें भी कोई गलत
डिफरेंसेस
बात नहीं है.
ठीक
आपको
है, बट
डिफरेंस से आप नहीं सिलेक्ट करो, वो मतलब इवेंचुअली काम तो उनके साथ ही करना है, उसको हमको तो नहीं करना है, तो वो एक सही बात है.
हाँ,
लेकिन यहाँ पे हम ये जरूर बोलना चाहिए कि दैट्स व्हाई वो सिलेक्ट नहीं हो रहे अपुया. अदरवाइज ही इज द करंटली आई थिंक जिक्सन के साथ अगर कोई कंपैरिजन में आ सकता है, दैट्स द अपुया. लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट.
ना ऑनेस्टी का बात नहीं है, बात है इगोर को क्या चाहिए. आई थिंक वही इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक्चुअली व्हाट आई वांट, व्हाट यू वांट, व्हाट अरुणावदा वांट्स, व्हाट राहुल वांट्स, दैट्स नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाट इगोर वांट्स, दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज़ ही इज द
पर
कोच ऑफ द
मैं
टीम, राइट?
See, Shayan,
नहीं
I
पर
think one point is to me is in a country like India, we are not a developed football country where we have abundance of talent available. And Apuia is at the moment, if you see the development of Apuia over the last 2-3 years, he's the best central midfielder that we have in India. And he proved it last night. He was playing to some extent like an Ahmed Jahu yesterday, right? Which he wouldn't have been able to do 2-3 years ago. And you saw that he wanted to score that second goal when he goes there for the header. A lot of players would have been scared because the goalkeeper is coming out and trying to punch the ball. They would have ducked. He went all in. We need those kind of mentalities, and that is the very. I mean, there is no doubt that if this kind of a player is not there for so-called attitude, I think it's the attitude why this player should be there.
Say, Unavada, actually, this has happened previously also. I can name many players in other coaches' terms that they haven't been overlooked, and you also know them.
नहीं
No,
भाई,
but it was not because
one
of
second.
quality. There was a reason behind it. If you ask Bob, if you ask Steven, there are reasons to be given. But there was not a reason to be given that the player was not good enough, right?
नहीं
was
सैन भाई,
always some other reason.
नहीं मेरा
Yeah, they are.
सिंपल सा कहने का मतलब ये है कि इसमें इगोर गलत है ऐसी बात हम नहीं बोल रहे. हम ये बोल रहे कि प्लेयर की क्वालिटी है, लेकिन वो ड्यू टू द
है
डिफरेंस वो
तो
सिलेक्ट नहीं हो रहे. दैट्स द पॉइंट,
हाँ,
दैट्स द पॉइंट.
वो तो है. प्लेयर में क्वालिटी है,
हाँ
कोई नहीं बोल रहा. ये इज गुड क्वालिटी,
हाँ
बट क्या उनका
हाँ.
स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स में शायद फिट नहीं हो रहा है. एंड आई थिंक उनका जो चयन है, आई थिंक वी शुड बैक हिम ना. क्या कर सकते हैं?
नहीं वो हम क्वेश्चन ही नहीं कर रहे ना. हम तो सिर्फ एक केस रख रहे हैं कि अपुया एक बेटर ऑप्शन होता. अगर जिक्सन
अच्छा,
इंजर हो गया है तो उसका
No.
बेस्ट ऑप्शन
Better
अपुया
for
होता.
me, that is not a question of better. He's the best option in midfield, in defensive
हाँ
midfield.
हाँ
Even if you put him in an attacking position at the moment, he's the best option you have, and you're not playing him. We are not. Again, I say that we are not. We're not a developed football nation. We're not France, where you can create 4 national teams. You drop a player, you pick a player. You can afford as France to say, "अरे भाई Karim Benzema हम नहीं लेते हैं." क्या होता है?
हाँ.
You still get to the World Cup final, right? You win a World Cup without Karim Benzema, right? We are not in that. We don't have that luxury. And the best players need to be, and you need to find solutions to it. Your job as a coach is also to find a solution to this problem, right? Try and talk to the players, find mutual ground, and then play him. Because, yeah, otherwise, yeah. You're losing
It's
the
a
chance.
basic
You're weakening
हाँ,
your own team. You're not playing with the best.
it's a basically unfortunate situation for Indian team. That's the
exactly. Because I
अपुया
think
इगोस्टेमिक इनका जो भी वो उनका मसला है, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली टीम के लिए वो अच्छी बात नहीं है. दैट्स द थिंग ओनली. एंड 2 प्लेयर की बात हमने नहीं की है. राहुल, मैं आपसे भी पूछना चाहूंगा. एक तो है लिस्टन कोलासो एंड एक है नंदा कुमार सिका. इसके बारे में सबका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू जानना चाहूंगा.
No, we're getting to the forwards.
एंड मनवीर सिंह
100%, Hiren. Like, we're going to get to the forwards now, but again, I think there's no doubt, because everybody in the chat is also. It's clear that Apuia is probably is beyond the rest of the Indian midfielders, right? Because if 1-2 people think he's the best, it's okay. But I think if literally almost everybody thinks he's the best, he's midfielder that we have. There's something in the boy. So yeah. Anyways, moving on to the forwards, like Hiren just mentioned, there are guys to talk about. Arnava gave his front three, which was Mahesh, Changte, and Sunil Chetri. I agree with the front three. I think that is our best front three with Mahesh on the left and Shakti on the right. Interesting, Hiren just mentioned a couple of other names. Nanda, Liston, and Manveer. I don't think Manveer gets into this team as a winger. I think Changte and Mahesh again, like the trickery part of it is something they've got, and that you need wingers to have that. Liston is the interesting one because he's the kind of flair boy but doesn't have the consistency. And Nanda again is he's got and Nanda again is very impressive, but I don't know. He's just there's something missing, I feel, for him to make the cut above Mahesh and Changte. So for me, these two are the first choice wingers. Uh, what do you guys think?
No, if you ask me, I think I should. I agree with Arunavata. Sunil will be the front up front, and the two wingers. I think Changte and both Mahesh, both of them, I think deserve this place in the starting 11. I think no doubts about it. I think we will be playing with both of them. I think that would be more logically more suitable. I think in form wise also these players are on a higher ways in compared to the players you mentioned right now.
Yeah. Anna?
Yeah, I think again people are saying Changte form and all, and I agree to that. But national team colors, I think Changte has been one of the consistent players over the last 6 months for India. I think a lot of people are forgetting that he has been the player besides Sunil who has been getting goals, creating goals. Yeah, and therefore Changte is for me a natural starter, and Mahesh Naurem, especially when he scored that goal against Iraq. I like that boy, as I've said multiple times, that he has this. He's not scared of the occasions. He just plays football. This is a very unique thing that he has, because it's normal. Don't forget footballers. Everyone in their normal job, right? You have pressure. You start thinking, overthinking this, that. And he just plays. He goes onto field and just plays football, and that's been his strength. And that makes Mahesh such an exceptional player. The others all are talented, but again, Liston, Nanda, Manveer, they are. At the moment, I would say Changte and Mahesh are better, and Liston is good to see that he's slowly picking up again at Mohun Bagan. He had a below average season last year, was not even doing well in the national team whenever he's come on, and so therefore that's good to see. Nanda Kumar lacks international experience. I think that's something which we should not forget. And Manveer is someone I have a lot of respect for. This boy has shown over the years. If I go back, 2017 Santosh Trophy winner for Bengal, was with Mohammedan at the time, an out and out striker, but was more known for his misses than his goals. Has come a long way, and therefore and it is something that at the moment Steamach sees him as a potential number 2 to Sunil. So he is the number 9 alternative if Sunil goes off, but can also come in if Changte goes out on the right. So therefore we have certain options, and not to forget, we can also use Brandon on a left wing. Depending if Nikhil Pujari plays, Roshan can be used in attacking positions as well, left and right. So these are positions where we've got a lot of options on the wings, attacking positions. But we are missing alternatives to Sunil. I mean, we've discussed it quite a number of times over the last few weeks and months. And therefore, that is a position where we need to find alternatives. And again, Manveer has also scored in the King's Cup. So therefore, yes, I think Manveer is at the moment, even though he doesn't play at club as an out-and-out striker, looks as an option. And again, Iko Steamach said the other day when he was asked at the Punjab versus Northeast United game, he doesn't feel Parthiv Gogoi is ready yet. But again, it's a situation where I would have at least thought I would have liked Parthiv to at least be part of the squad, get a feel of things, right? I think that would have been good, rather than potentially if God forbid we have injuries, that Parthiv Gogoi and other players might have to be drafted in next month.
Yeah, everybody, a lot of people are asking about Partey because, of course, he's in fine form for his club. Um, with him not being selected for the Merdeka Cup, is that a sign, Hiren and Shayan, that he will not be in the scheme of things until the Asia Cup at least?
आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से जो इगो सेविक साहब ने जो एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया है, आई काइंड ऑफ एग्री। एंड काफी सारे लोग बोल रहे हैं कि राहुल केपी नहीं है, ये क्यों नहीं है। तो आपको देखिए, पहले हम ये बोल रहे थे कि आपके पास एक सेटल स्कोर होना चाहिए बिफोर गोइंग इनटू द एशियन कप। आप 5-6 मैचेस आप जो आपकी सेटल स्कोर है उसके साथ आप खेलिए, ताकि जाके आप एशियन कप में आप अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस करेंगे। अब आप देखिए, एक सेटल स्कोर के साथ आप खिला रहे हैं, तो हम बोल रहे हैं रिसेंसी बायस। ये देखिए हर किसी के साथ आता है, इसमें मैं फैंस को ये नहीं बोल रहा कि गलत है वो, लेकिन रिसेंसी बायस आता है। और आप हर प्लेयर को तो सिलेक्ट नहीं कर सकते। नॉरेम महेश ने ऐसा क्या गलत कर दिया कि आप उसको ड्रॉप आउट कर दोगे? आप चांगते ने क्या गलत कर दिया कि आप उसको ड्रॉप आउट कर दोगे? पारसी गोगोई नो डाउट सिलेक्ट हो जाएगा, लेकिन चांसेस फिर भी उनके कम थे कि वो स्टार्टिंग 11 में जगह बना पाते। लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट हियर। एंड आप देखिए, किसी भी जो नेशनल टीम में प्लेयर है उसको आप तभी निकालोगे कि जब उसका मतलब एकदम से एक पूरा क्या बोलते कि खराब परफॉर्मेंस चल रहा है। उदांता का मेरे को मतलब आई कंप्लीटली एग्री कि उदांता जैसे रोहित कुमार का है, वैसे ही उदांता का केस है कि आपने उसको किंग्स कप में ड्रॉप किया था, फिर से उसको लेके आए हो। एंड फॉर्म भी उसका एफसी गोवा के लिए आप बोलेंगे तो उतना कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी नहीं है। तो वहां पे शायद आप राहुल केपी या फिर विक्रम प्रताप सिंह दोनों में से किसी को डाल सकते थे। लेकिन
But Hiren, one point about Udanta is about certain players past mein tha, and my prime example will always be Renedy Singh. Renedy Singh, whatever form he had at club level, be it at East Bengal or Mohun Bagan, wherever or JCD was playing, national team, he was always 1, 2, maybe even 3 levels better. So therefore, Udanta is one of those players who potentially has
उदांता ने पोटेंशियली है, लेकिन आप देखिए मेरे को तो टू बी ऑनेस्ट उन्होंने जो इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल साफ में भी जो उदांता खेला, आई डिडंट इंप्रेस विद हिम। मतलब आई थिंक करंटली हमारे पास
others
2
outside
साल
of
पहले आप बोलते उदांता, नहीं 2 साल पहले जो उदांता था उसमें और इसमें अभी डिफरेंस है।
outside of Changte and Mahesh, who has impressed on the wings in the recent past?
रिसेंट पास्ट में आई थिंक विंग्स में तो मेरे को एक बिपिन अच्छा लगता है। आई थिंक ही हैज द क्वालिटी।
बट बिपिन टीम क्लब में नहीं अच्छा नहीं खेल रहा है,
क्लब में अच्छा नहीं खेल रहा, लेकिन अगर आप
and he's never performed for the national team.
तो उदांता भी आप देख लीजिए ना सर, उदांता बीएफसी में लास्ट सीजन रेगुलर नहीं था, इस सीजन गोवा में देख लीजिए।
मैं भूल जा रहा हूँ जो क्लब के लिए खेल रहा है ना उसका, and that is exactly what I think when
तो उदांता का परफॉर्मेंस आप देख लीजिए,
he has that international experience. I think that should not be forgotten.
हाँ तो मैं सर वही बोल रहा हूँ कि उसी के लिए वो सिलेक्ट हो रहे हैं।
हाँ exactly, that is the thought of the coach.
हाँ वही
I would have liked Vikram Pratap in this, because I liked the attitude, especially also yesterday, that he was up for a fight when it was needed against Kerala Blasters. वो लगेगा Australia Uzbekistan के साथ लगेगा. But again, he's not regularly played 90 minutes. That's also a reason. But again, this is a player which I would have liked to see more of. So therefore, yeah. And therefore we, again, there are multiple players, and yeah, it's a difficult one. And again, if you look at national coaches, they will not always run regarding current form, but also not forget that these players have delivered for him. Stimach knows how Udanta has played from, let's say, against Qatar, in Qatar. I remember I was there in Doha. You know, a fighting game, Nikhil Pujari and Udanta, right? Great game. And so therefore that's the thing. I am vision between Udanta and Ashik, surely Ashik, but those two are on two separate wings. One is a right winger, one is a left winger. And Ashik is not a topic for the next season, right? So that's a sad part. That Ashik sadly is out. That actually, it's a huge miss for us, because Ashik is a player who was exceptional in the 2019 Asian Cup. He was good against Thailand. He was the best player in the first half hour against United Arab Emirates. He was all over the place. Sadly, he just didn't score. So therefore, I think that's the the coach has to decide what he thinks is right or what is wrong, and therefore it's a again, we spoke about Apuia. I said, what I think. Let's see where it takes us.
अनुराग भाई, आपकी बात से मैं एग्री करता हूँ कि उदांता एक्सपीरियंस एंड जो बड़े मैच उसमें काम आएगा, लेकिन आई थिंक उसकी मेरा सिर्फ कहने का मतलब ये था कि जो 2 साल पहले उदांता था और अभी का जो उदांता है उसमें काफी ज्यादा ड्रॉप आया है उसके परफॉर्मेंस में, और उसकी पेस में भी आया है। जो पहले वो 1v1 में जिस तरह से बीट कर पाता था या फिर जैसे वो थ्रू बॉल के थ्रू क्या बोलते बीट करता था, वो अभी नहीं दिख रहा है। दैट्स द ओनली कंसर्न फॉर मी।
And the point is, it's Manolo. If Manolo can do something with him, Manolo has been magical with a lot of Indian players. If you see Ashish Rai, Yasir, for example, not even in the squad at the moment, right? Hitesh Sharma, a player that Shayan very often likes to mention, right, Shayan, who has done really well for himself. So therefore, that's another. It's going to be interesting on who you choose. And again, the coach sometimes will choose experience over young talent. Jay Gupta being named. Jay Gupta has played 3 matches. Give the boy time. He comes from a lower level Spanish system. Yeah. And that's the point. Ashish Rai didn't play well in the Kings Cup. Most probably that's the reason why the coach again will go with other players who are tried and tested. And that's the thing. That's the challenge of a coach. Our problem is, at the end of the day, as an Indian national team, you have maybe 4 or 5 players who are cut above the rest, and the rest of somewhat of a similar level.
अरुण द्विवेदी भाई, पॉलिटिकल आंसर नहीं, हम कोच का क्या थॉट प्रोसेस है और क्यों कौन से प्लेयर को सिलेक्ट किया गया है और क्यों कौन से प्लेयर को ड्रॉप किया गया है, उसके रीजन दे रहे हैं। इसमें हमारा ओपिनियन ये नहीं है कि ये इसलिए है, हम ये रीजन दे रहे हैं कि क्यों इस प्लेयर को सिलेक्ट किया गया है। कि जैसे उदांता है भाई, क्योंकि जैसे इंटरनेशनल कोचेस होते हैं नेशनल टीम के, वो एक्सपीरियंस को ज्यादा चूज करते हैं।
हम लोगों का डिसीजन नहीं है, इट्स नॉट आवर डिसीजन। हम जस्ट एग्जैक्टली हिरन जो बोल रहे हैं, वी आर ट्राइंग टू get into the mind of Igor Stimac and understand why he's selecting the squad he's selecting, and that's the point. It's not you guys telling us that we should, why is this player or that player. It's
अगर मेरा चलता तो मैं ऑब्वियसली मैं आपसे एग्री करता हूँ कि उदांता को ड्रॉप कर दीजिए, विक्रम को ले लीजिए, अपुया को लेके आओ, मैं रोहित कुमार की जगह पे। ये तो मैंने पहले भी जब 26 मेंबर का स्क्वाड आया तब भी मैंने बोला था कि मेरे 3 प्लेयर ड्रॉप होंगे, उसमें रोहित कुमार को मैं रखूंगा, उसको ड्रॉप करूंगा, उदांता को ड्रॉप करूंगा, लेकिन वो कोच ने नहीं किया ना। तो हम वही एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि क्यों कोच ने नहीं किया है वो।
Guys, again, everybody who's watching, please continue to support the channels Arun Food, SportsKhabri, Indian Food and Football, Curious Harry. Like, share and subscribe this stream. We want as many people as possible to get into the conversation, talk about Indian football, and get ready for the international break. Shayan, apart from Apuia, because we've already spoken about him, there's been enough chat about him. There's been enough chat about Parthiv Gogoi. Any surprise exclusions for you? Any players that you thought should have made the squad?
I think none. I think both of them. I think what already mentioned, Apuia and Parthiv Gogoi, I think they were knocking in the door of national team right now. I think Apuia, I don't know the reason. There may be other reasons also, but Parthiv Gogoi, what I've heard that Igor thinks has some plans for the Asian Cup. I think after Asian Cup, only Parthiv Gogoi will be looked into. I don't think इतना जल्दी उनको आना है टीम में. Parthiv Gogoi will require some time according to Igor. So that also needs to look into. I think he has gone with a tried and tested formula. हम लोग इतना दिन से, I think we were telling these things for a long time. हम लोग बोलते रहते थे that हम लोग का क्या है, settle 11 क्या है, settle playing 11 क्या है. आस्ते-आस्ते I think our coach is trying to getting a settle 11 for the Asian Cup and World Cup qualifiers, and I think यही होना चाहिए. And अभी आस्ते-आस्ते वो नैरो कर रहे हैं टीम को, and I think ये 2 मैचेस में हम लोग को पता चल जाएगा कौन वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स में हम लोग का स्टार्टिंग 11 में हो. I think these 2 matches will give us I think this will be good also for Igor. I think ये 2 matches will help us a lot in terms of the team building, cohesiveness, सब कुछ के लिए अच्छा है. हालांकि हम लोग परसों ही मैच खेल रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. What I'm hearing है परसों ही एक मैच खेलने वाले हैं. So I think team gels up very quickly. I think exclusions मेरे को नहीं लग रहा कुछ ऐसा कुछ हो गया है that injury को छोड़ के. I don't think any such exclusions happening, barring the 2 already mentioned, that Parthiv Gogoi and uh, Apuia in that way. So this thing, I think he has gone with a tried and tested formula.
Shine, just
एक
follow up with that. A lot of
एक
people
एक
are
एक एक
yeah,
राहुल
yeah, yeah,
राहुल मैं एक यहाँ पे आशीष राय का क्लियर कर देता हूँ। काफी सारे
exactly,
लोग कब से पूछ रहे हैं आशीष राय ने किंग्स
exactly.
कप में अच्छा किया। किंग्स कप में अच्छा किया, नो डाउट अबाउट इट, लेकिन निखिल पुजारी आपका आप अब देखिए पिछले 3 टूर्नामेंट से लगातार खेलते आ रहे हैं, सेटल हो चुका है, सो कोच उनको ड्रॉप नहीं कर सकते। और रोशन सिंह उससे भी पहले आपका एकमात्र ऐसा फुल बैक था कि जो दोनों पोजीशन पे खेल सकता था, अच्छा कर रहा था, लेकिन उसको इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल साफ में इंजरी हो गया और अब जाके वो इस सीजन आया है तो बेंगलुरु के लिए अच्छा खेला है, तो दैट्स व्हाई ही हैज बीन सिलेक्टेड। तो आशीष राय के लिए अब जगह बनाना मुश्किल बन गया है। ऐसा नहीं कि किंग्स कप में उसको लिया है तो इस टूर्नामेंट में लेना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आपके जो दोनों पहले से ट्राई एंड टेस्टेड फुल बैक्स है और 2 ही फुल बैक्स लेके आप जा सकते हो किसी टूर्नामेंट में, आप 3 3 फुल बैक्स लेके नहीं जाओगे वहां पे राइट साइड। सो दैट्स व्हाई आशीष राय यहाँ पे ड्रॉप हुए हैं एंड आशीष राय को और ज्यादा यहाँ पे अपने आप को प्रूव करना पड़ेगा मोहन बगान में, जो कि अभी डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है, क्योंकि आप देखिए अब उनको स्टार्टिंग 11 में भी जगह मिलना बंद हो चुका है आशीष राय को। जिस क्या बोलते हैं कि फॉर्मेशन के साथ जॉन फर्नांडो खिलाता है उसमें वो मनवीर सिंह को ज्यादातर यूज करता है, कभी कभार ही आशीष राय को मौका मिल रहा है। सो नाउ इट्स अ बिग चैलेंज फॉर आशीष राय कि वो क्लब लेवल पे अपने आप को प्रूव करे एंड जगह बनाए। इट्स गोइंग टू बी रियली रियली डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि निखिल पुजारी या फिर रोशन कुमार से किसी एक का फॉर्म यहाँ पे नेशनल टीम के लिए बहुत ज्यादा डीप होना पड़ेगा, तभी जाके उसको चांस मिलेगा। अदरवाइज इट्स वेरी अनलाइकली कि वो यहाँ पे अभी इतना जल्दी राइट बैक की पोजीशन पे आए। तो दैट्स द केस विद द क्या बोलते हैं कि आशीष राय।
Yeah, and another Hiren, same question to you guys and everybody in the chat as well. Apart from the guys we have already discussed, Ashish Rai, Apuia, and Parthiv Gogoi, anybody who is knocking on the door of the national team, anybody who possibly could have been included, any names cropping up to mind right now?
Vikram has been mentioned. I think that's another one.
Vikram.
Rahul KP potentially. Yasir is not in this squad at the moment, so we've forgotten the old guns. Pritam Kotal, for example, when if you want to go for experience in regard to a centre back and a right back, I think Ishan Pandita has not played any games in the recent past, so Ishan is out. So there are quite a few of them, so therefore it'll be interesting to see how the coach sets his team up, because the next 3 months, a little over 3 months, the Asian Cup starts. We have very, very important matches next month in Kuwait and then against Qatar at home in Bhubaneswar. And again, the question is if he's going to bring some guys back who are more experienced.
Yeah, very interesting. Will be fascinating because a lot of people are saying, again, Vikram, the names that I don't know, you just mentioned, Rahul KP, of course, another one. Yeah. Now, Shan, just quickly before we wrap up, your expectations for this Merdeka Cup, given that we could be playing day after tomorrow, it looks like we'll be playing day after tomorrow, and it's almost here.
Yes. Actually, day after tomorrow, we are playing our first game most likely, and I think my expectation is that I expect Indian team to play well under our head coach Igor Stimac. I think we will be playing if we play to our potential, we should come out as a winner. If we play to our potential, to me, both of the teams are defeatable. If you ask me personally, I think of late we didn't have a very good record against Tajikistan, which I've already mentioned. But I think our team has that quality and potential right now to beat Tajikistan and Malaysia over there. So I'm very interested to see how India plays over there. I think playing in Malaysia against Malaysia in that big stadium, I think that would be something very interesting to see how India plays to that pressure of the support of Malaysian people over there. I think the game against Tajik, I think most likely we play against Tajikistan in the first game. So in that game we will get that time to understand get to the environment properly. But somehow I feel one day tomorrow we'll be only having one training session before we go to that game on Wednesday. I hope that team hopes up very well, very soon and very fast. And I expect India to win the Merdeka Cup for the first time. I think most probably, I don't know if I'm not mistaken, if we win this cup, we win this for the first time in our history, right? So that is something.
Yeah, we finished second. Yeah.
Yes, this is a very good opportunity. We can do that. So all the best to the Indian national team and our head coach there. All the best to them, both of them. And I think we can beat both of the teams. I think we have a very good chance, and I'm very much hopeful by what I've seen Indian team play in last 6 months.
Shine is gunning for the win, guys. Arnava, Hiren, what do you guys think? What are your expectations before we finish? Okay.
मेरे हिसाब से अगर आप वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स अवे में जो देख रहे हो कुवैत के सामने ड्रॉ, या फिर एशियन कप में आप देख रहे हो कि आप राउंड ऑफ 16 थर्ड पोजीशन पे, देन दिस मेडका कप शुड बी अवर्स, सिंपल एज दैट। क्योंकि इससे मच बेटर चैलेंजेस आपको, या फिर मच टफर चैलेंजेस आपको आगे आने वाले वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स एंड एशियन कप में मिलने वाले हैं। सो अगर आप यहाँ पे प्रूव नहीं कर पाएंगे अपने आप को, तो खुद ही कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आएगा, सिंपल सी बात वो है। सामने वाली टीम अगर उसका बुरा दिन हो गया और आपने हरा दिया, वो तो एक अलग बात है, वो तो फिर आप हाइंडसाइड बात कर रहे हैं। लेकिन आपको कॉन्फिडेंस, क्योंकि आपका अवे फॉर्म अभी भी इंप्रूव नहीं हुआ है, ये हम सब भूल जाते हैं। अवे फॉर्म इज द बिगेस्ट कंसर्न फॉर अर्स। चाहे आप देखिए सिंगापुर, वियतनाम, हम तब से मतलब स्ट्रगल करते आ रहे हैं। दैट्स द वन एरिया वेयर गोस्टेमिक हैज प्रूव हिमसेल्फ। उनको प्रूव करना पड़ेगा कि हाँ भाई, मैं अपनी टीम को अवे में भी वो रिजल्ट ला के दिला सकता हूँ। एंड मलेशिया एंड तजाकिस्तान इज द परफेक्ट ओपोनेंट, कि जहाँ पे आपको वो दिखाना पड़ेगा कि नहीं, हम वो कर सकते हैं। सो फॉर मी देयर इज नो एक्सक्यूज, नथिंग, इट्स ओनली मर्दका कप विन कैन गिव मी यू कैन से कॉन्फिडेंस कि ये टीम वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स या फिर एशियन कप में कुछ कर सकती है। बिकॉज आपकी फुल स्क्वाड अवेलेबल है, ऐसा भी नहीं है कि कोई आपके बड़े प्लेयर मिस कर रहे हैं। आई थिंक यू हैव अ वेरी गुड स्क्वाड, everything is fine, all the players are coming with a very good ISL 2-3 matches in form, physicality wise everything is perfect, stage is set, now it's the only win can you can say कि आप सिर्फ क्या बोलते हैं कि जीत ही अब फैंस है उनको दिलाएगी कि हाँ भाई हम कुछ कर सकते हैं।
Yeah. Adava, final word.
I think to combine what Shayan and Hirena said is, I think there would be some pressure on Igor to try and win the Merdeka Cup. I think that's the expectation that people have, because people are looking at the FIFA rankings and India is the highest ranked team now left in the competition. We, as Hiren said, go and play away. Reality is, when was the last time we won a match away? That's a point. I look at the match against Kyrgyz Republic at home in Manipur earlier this year, and then think Tajikistan is of a similar level, if not even stronger. So that's the first test. And the second test is Malaysia in a full stadium in KL. And these are two perfect tests for us going into November. Because Kuwait, we now know what kind of an opponent that is. Kuwait is gunning for revenge after losing the SAF final. So therefore, I hope that they are in a position to do whatever they do. And again, this whole thing, narrative about no training and blah, 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 doesn't work for me, because it's the same situation for Tajikistan as well. And even Malaysia. Malaysia has an advantage on the 14th, but before that, all the teams are in the same boat. So that reason is BS to me. That reason makes no sense whatsoever, because every team is in that situation in these kind of FIFA windows. We have the opportunity. Let's see what the team is able to deliver, and let's hope for the best.
Yeah. All right.
लास्ट राहुल में अपडेट दे देता हूँ गाइस। ब्रॉडकास्टिंग का अपडेट अभी तक आया नहीं, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली कल तक आ जाएगा, लेट होप सो। क्योंकि ब्रॉडकास्टिंग का कोई भी अपडेट अभी तक एएफएफ की ओर से या फिर मेडका जो मलेशिया फुटबॉल एसोसिएशन है उनकी ओर से भी अभी तक कोई आया नहीं। सो लेट्स होप कि कल तक आ जाए।
And now, of course, the plans get reworked completely with, again, just a reminder towards the end, Palestine is opted out of the Merdeka Cup due to political reasons in their war against Israel. Therefore, the Merdeka Cup is now a tri-nation tournament with hosts Malaysia, Tajikistan, and India. As the unofficial plan at the moment, it looks like India and Tajikistan will open the Merdeka Cup on the 11th. India then face Malaysia on the 14th, and Tajikistan, Malaysia is the final game of the competition. So that is what is at the moment. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, that's the current status of while we are talking at the moment.
So it's all set then. We're ready for 11th. It'll be exciting to see the squad that goes out. It'll be interesting. I'm sure all of us will have our eyes peeled out to see who exactly gets into that squad. Of course, there's no Jackson. Like we've already mentioned in this in the stream. So a few things to keep your eyes on, guys. Also, again, like, share, and subscribe to all the channels here. Please support the stream. We have SportsKhabri, Arun Foot, Indian Food and Football, Curious Harry. Again, go to these channels. You can find a lot of content on Indian football that we've covered over the past few months. We're going to continue to do so. We'll be back again tomorrow for another stream. Until then, good night, guys.
Good
Good
night,
night, everyone.
Joseph.